Well, hello and welcome out to Mulcahy Stadium as we're ready to go on this rainy day. As this is the first time this summer it's actually rained during game time, pretty much. I think the Chinooks had one where it was down in Kenai like 7 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. It's been a long time. Josh Salem here with Wyatt Wewell. The Chinooks of Chugiak Eagle River are facing off here against the Anchorage Bucs. Last time these two teams will meet, and Brett Fennell will be on the mound. The Cal Baptist University right-handed freshman. He's got a 3-0 record coming in, 6.49 ERA, making his sixth appearance and sixth start for the Bucs. 26 and a third innings on the mound, 12 strikeouts to his 18 walks, 26 hits given up. And the Chinooks this season have faced him twice, only have lost one game against him, 7-5. He pitched 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 7 hits given up, and then the last time it was an 11-8 win for the Bucs, but he only pitched 4 and a third, gave up 7 runs on 6 hits, 6 walks as well. So the Chinooks looking to get going with Pate Fullerton to lead off as the shortstop, batting second, Jess Davis, the center fielder, J. Paul Fullerton, the catcher, batting third, Ethan English, the designated hitter behind him, Hayden Keller, the 5-hole right fielder, Daniel Freeman at first base, batting sixth, batting seventh is Joe Brazil at third base, Trevor Cho, the left fielder, hitting eighth, and the 9-hole Dylan Gardner at second base. All will face Brett Fennell. And the first pitch to open us up is ball one outside. Stacy Dunbar behind the plate today. Taylor, the first base umpire, and the third base umpire is Marcus Dolan. 1-0 count here to get going. The Miners lost a narrow one yesterday, 1-0 against the Bucs, and this pitch is inside strike one. 1-1 count here to the UAB Blazer. Soon to be in the fall, playing there with his brother. His dad is here as well at the stadium. Rain still coming down. Hit hard, right side, it'll get through. Spencer Long, the dive, and he can't get it. It's going to play quickly today on the turf as it has been rained on. It actually knocked out the Chinooks batting practice. And Stacy Dunbar telling Fennell to just throw it back to the dugout. Everybody's switching out balls all day long. So leadoff single for the Chinooks. Jess Davis, the center fielder, up next. Had a huge day yesterday, and he's looking to do the same today.
Yeah, the rain just picked up again here, and you could see from here, I don't think you could probably see it on the camera, but when the ball was rolling in the outfield, there was water coming all over, spraying up from it. So we may not get through this whole game, but we'll see. There's a lot of rain coming, it looks like.
They're definitely trying to. The Chinooks are in the playoff race right now to try and keep fourth place. They have to win one more game for sure. Jess Davis trying to pull one down the right side, and he'll work a 2-0 count. Needs to be patient. The ball is definitely going to get a little wet today as the first pitch was thrown in the dirt and scooped up by the catcher, Victor Cherney. Spencer Long, the only Buck the Chinooks haven't faced this season. They brought him up when Shane Marshall had to go home. High pitch, 3-0 count. On deck is J. Paul Fullerton, the catcher. He'd like to come up with runners on first and second, move up his brother to second, and Jess Davis getting to first. The first 3 batters are all attending the University of Alabama at Birmingham this coming fall. 0-0 ball game. 1 hit for the Chinooks. Stands at first base in Pate Fullerton. The next pitch is called for a strike, and that'll just nip the edge, and it'll be a 3-1 count. Chinooks in batting practice had their first of 3 groups get up there, went around about 2 times around, and then the balls were just getting heavy and soaked, and decided to try and save a couple of them, get back in. So banged the batting practice. Chinooks in a big running to try and get a big win here against the Bucs. And that pitch, strike 2. 3-2 count here, no outs, and look to see if Fennell can get a third strike in there for out number 1. Chinooks won yesterday in a 4-3 matchup against the Pilots, and they improved as well to 13-25 this season. Runner goes, hit hard, the right side, it'll get through. Pate Fullerton going to head for third, and he's going to safely get there as Jess Davis with a single. It almost hit Pate Fullerton. He hopped over it, and Spencer Long, who was playing up the middle, couldn't grab it either. So runners on the corners for J. Paul Fullerton, the catcher. Chinooks in a good spot, try and bring in a run here in the first inning. No outs and runners on the corners. 2 singles to start us off. J. Paul Fullerton, again, the left-handed hitter, is up next. Runner goes. Hit hard to deep left field, tailing away. It's got a chance, and it's going to just go foul. A few feet to the left side. From here, the on the left side. We thought it might have a chance to actually tail over the fence. J. Paul Fullerton's hit a couple. He just missed that one. Jess Davis had the base stolen. And from a left-handed hitter, that's tough because, it's one where you want to take because Jess Davis would have safely been in the second. Again, churning a good arm behind the plate. J. Paul Fullerton looking for a base hit. The throw back, and he's safe on the potential pickoff move. And again, the mound is wet, so
everything's wet.
Yeah, everything's wet. So if Fennel slips and Zach Sundine will be on the mound, there's a lot these guys have to go through. The weather might play a factor today. Off speed will paint the corner. It'll work a 0-2 count. Fullerton trying to hit something up the middle. You don't want to hit into a double play, but you'll take it right now if you can get in the first run. Try and put a little pressure on the Bucs. You cannot afford to just strand them and not get that run in with runners on the corners, no outs. Delivery taken outside and ball one.
Looks like the wind is starting to pick up, blowing towards right field. It's the flag is waving for a while and then going limp again, but it is going out to right field when it's blowing.
Ethan English on deck, and J. Paul trying to put something in play. Yank one to the right side. He might have a base hit. We've seen two get past Spencer Long, all ready to open it up, and because Pate Fullerton was stealing, he was able to go first to third. Blake Paul picked it up, but the grass is going to hold it up as well, and when you pick it up, we saw Blake Paul just casually throw it into Cole Tate at shortstop. Runner goes. Hit hard to left field. This one's going to be playable. Jess Davis will have to go back to first. Tagging Pate Fullerton. He's going to come home. It's going to be a throw wide, and Pate Fullerton is in for the sac fly, and the Chinooks take the early lead.
That's what we like to see.
So J. Paul Fullerton now leads the Chinooks with 26 RBIs this season.
Let's hope we can get through 5 innings, and then this game will count no matter what.
Wyatt, I've got a question for you, though. Because it's a 9-inning game, doesn't it have to get to 7 for it to count?
No, it has to get to 5.
For sure?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's good news.
That is if they play Major League rules, which most of the rules here are based on the Major Leagues. So that is the rule. It's got to be 4.5 if the home team is leading, or 5 otherwise.
Because in college, I'm pretty sure it's 7. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on it, but the first pitch fell in on a curveball to Ethan English. Jess Davis has still tried to swipe a few bags. This one thrown in the dirt, and I think it actually nicked Jess Davis as he'll casually get back on the bag. Yeah, he's throwing his arm down as I think it hit him right in the elbow. And that's what I'm talking about. Fennel could throw it away, and he's going to try and switch out the ball with Stacy Dunbar. Stacy's probably just going to turn around. Yeah, he just turned around and threw it back to the dugout. At this point, if the ball gets wet, just throw it back to the third base dugout where the Bucs are residing. 0-1 count here, 1 out. Ethan English was robbed of a deep double to left center yesterday. The center fielder chased it down for the Pilots. Pitch thrown wide on the fastball, 1-1 count. English leads the team with home runs this season, 4 home runs of the 12 the Chinooks have had, so he's got a third of them. And the Chinooks had 2 yesterday, 1 from Freeman and 1 from Joe Brazil, his first of the season. Fennel coming set. Pick off the first. Thrown wide again, but good job by Sullivan to grab it. Jess having to get all those turf pellets off of him, and him and Sullivan are laughing it off right now. Bucs have been on a little bit of a slump these last few games. Jess Davis thinking about going. It's picked, and it's going to go wide. It's thrown away. Jess Davis is going to try and advance. He's going to easily get to second. They're going to wave him around to third. Blake Paul will try and get it in. It's going to go a little wide and safely in Jess Davis. And, the more times you pick off, it kept getting wider and wider, and Sullivan unable to get to that one. Jess Davis moves all the way to the third, and with a 1-1 count here, Ethan English will try to get a sac fly as well. We saw one just a moment ago, the sac fly RBI from J. Paul Fullerton, and Chad Castillo caught it in left field. The throw was wide up the first base line. Pate Fullerton came in for the first run. And as many runs as you can get in here in this first inning of play against Fennel, you're doing pretty good. So ground ball to deep shortstop will do the same. And the off-speed falls in, strike 2. A 1-2 count, and I imagine Fennel will try and go the same pitch here, try and work in some off-speed. Maybe start it a little lower, get a big chase swing from English. Catcher sets up away, delivery. Hit hard, and it's going to be a base hit. English sitting back on it, third hit in the inning, and it's a single up the middle. RBI hit for Ethan English. Beautiful job of sitting back there and just lifting one over Cole Tate's head. Chinooks lead 2-0 as Jess Davis comes in to score. For English, that is his 31st hit this season. He ties Hayden Keller, who's up next. Only one guy with more hits than them, and that's Jess Davis. He picked up his 34th of the season on the single to the right side, and then scores this run. Hit hard, right side, base hit. Ethan English hustling around. He's going to be held up at second as Blake Paw will get it in. And the fourth hit comes in this inning. And it'll bring up Daniel Freeman, the first baseman. We'll pause for a moment as the pitching coach comes out for a conversation with Fennell. Back and ready to go. Meeting adjourned. Runners at first and second. Back-to-back hits. RBI single for Ethan English. He's at second. And the first pitch falls inside to Daniel Freeman here. Hayden Keller, the single to right field. He's at first. One out and a 2-0 lead for the Chinooks. Pate Fullerton started things off with Jess Davis behind him. Both have scored, and they both had singles to the right side to open up the ballgame. Off speed and doesn't break. Falls high, 2-0 count. Joe Brazil on deck as the third baseman. He had a 2-run blast in the fourth inning yesterday, added the final 2 runs. Chinooks couldn't score after the fourth inning. They had all 4 runs in that inning, and then the Pilots had all 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Big swing there, back pick, and a good job by Hayden Keller to get back. He slid back in, trying to block his chest in case of getting hit, and Sullivan able to make the grab. So, excuse me. Sam Potter, the first base coach and assistant, as John Grove, the head coach in his 8th year here in the ABL, is the third base coach. Delivery home. Thrown wide, it's going to get by. Runners will move up to second and third, and Freeman still there at the plate with a 3-1 count. Ball hit the ground, and it launched all these pellets up and hit Daniel Freeman on the left side. He had to shake off his arm. So just like that, it's still a 2-0 lead, but the Chinooks trying to get in a few more runs here, top the first. No one warming in the pen for the Bucs, and they're trying to rely on Fennell, who's been so good this season. He's got a 3-0 record, the Cal Fullerton pitcher. This is inside. It'll be a walk, so Brazil will be up next. Bases loaded. First walk issued by Fennell. Cal Baptist University, excuse me. I think I said Cal State Fullerton. But Joe Brazil will look for a base hit here. Double play is in order, so the walk doesn't necessarily hurt you. But Brazil trying to launch one, maybe for a base hit, bringing a few more runs here. Got to be patient, though. Cannot afford to chase. Trevor Cho, good to see him back in the lineup. Was a little banged up these last few days, and he is on deck. First pitch, off speed, hits the outer edge, and it'll be an 0-1 count. Brazil coming out of Mendocino College. Again, he picked up his first home run of the season yesterday. And a curveball paints the inner half.
There's a baseball team on the field just over the right field wall that you can see just barely above the fence. They've been running laps of that field for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Does not look like a fun day to be over there.
0-2 count in the dirt. Good block by Cherney. And Brazil needs to shorten up here, choke up, try and poke something to the outfield. Got to put something in play, hustle down the line, see if you can avoid a double play. Corners will likely try and just turn it. They're playing back currently, not going to go home with it. I guess if Sullivan takes one to his backhand side, he might try and throw it home. Avoid giving up a run. Next pitch to Brazil. Off speed inside, misses. 2-2 count, 1 out. Very close pitch to take. Brazil backed away. And it was a little bit farther inside, about crossed right with the right-handed batter's box white line. That lines the right side. 2-2 count here to Brazil. Delivery. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. Chinooks still have the bases loaded for Trevor Cho up next. First strikeout and second out here for Fennell. They will throw down as well, trying to get Ethan English, Justin Cook on the catch. And everybody's just wiping off the turf pellets.
I'm sure they're sticking to everything today, being as wet as it is.
Well, Zach Sundine's ready to go. He's heading back to the dugout from the bullpen. And Fennell trying to get out of this inning. He's given up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 error as well on the pickoff. First pitch is wide. Trevor Cho has drawn many a walk, and he'd like to do it again, bring in a run. The Bucs, again, won yesterday off of a walk, basically. It was the walk that walked in the run, and it was a 1-0 win for him. Off-speed misses away, 2-0 count. I think you got to take all the way here if you're Cho. A walk's as good as a hit in this scenario. Spencer Long shading him to the right side, pool side. And Chinooks trying to get in a few more runs. Big swing there. It was high, and he swung right over it. And that's what I'm saying. You got to take. But you're not going to penalize a guy for being aggressive, but all the same, you want to make sure you're smart with it. And I'm not sure Trevor trying to just deliver a big hit there, and he'll work with a 2-1 count against it. Delivery. Hit hard, left side. It'll tie the count up 2-2. Gets out of play. Dylan Gardner, the 9-hole second baseman, is on deck. And let's see if Cho can come up clutch with a base hit, bringing a few more runs. Keller at second. At third is Ethan English. At first, Daniel Freeman. Twos across the board. Fennell a deep breath. Payoff pitch. Taken high. Full count. Runners will get moving here, as we'll see what Trevor Cho can do, the left fielder. Cho has walked in 2 runs this season as a left-handed hitter. And all guys are going to be on the move. An extra base hit brings in a few. To their 3-2 count. Smash to right field. If it's fair, it's got a chance, and it tails foul. Trevor Cho looking for his first home run, and could have been a grand slam. I'm not sure if it actually got over the wall over there. No, it did not. It hit right in front of it. If it was a little bit further to the left, there's a chance with that angle it just goes over. But that would have been huge for the Chinooks. Put him up 6-0. Next pitch will await to Trevor Cho. He's still having a big at bat here. Next payoff pitch. Pokes one foul. Good at bat here between Trevor Cho trying to fight with Fennell. And the base is loaded for the Chinooks. 4 hits, 2 runs. They lead in the top of the first inning. Rain has subsided a little bit here, as it's not coming down as hard. Just sprinkling some. At 8 o'clock is when it's supposed to really get bad. Fennell coming set. Catcher sets up inside. Delivery. And he'll poke it foul again on the off-speed. Good at bat here for Cho. Cho 8 hits this season. Still looking for his first extra base hit. Has 5 RBIs, 12 walks. In 57 at-bats, this is his 58. He's really looking for a big hit. Bases loaded. They'll be on the move. Payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. What an at-bat for Trevor Cho. He will walk in a run, and Ethan English will touch them all and come in. RBI walk brings up Dylan Gardner. Keep looking down to that bullpen, and still nobody for the Bucs. Fennell this season as a freshman out of Riverside, California. 6'4" right-hander, 205 pounds. And Dylan Gardner looking to produce a big one here. Inside, just misses his back foot. Ball 1. And Fennell has only pitched in 1 game this season that resulted in a loss. That was a 9-6 loss against the Oilers. And the lowest amount of innings he's pitched is 4 1/3. 1-0 pitch to Gardner. Taken in the dirt. Good block. Same scenario. Stacy Dunbar calling time, and we'll toss it back to the... This time he's just going to wipe it off himself instead of tossing it back. Usually umpires just get in the habit especially in the major leagues. You just throw it away. So many balls gone through in the major leagues. 2-0 pitch. Taken, lower, and strike one. Good pitch to take. Good decision there for Dylan Gardner. Not his pitch. Base is still loaded. Trevor Cho walked. I believe he saw 9 pitches in that at bat. Taken for strike 2 at the bottom edge of the strike zone. 2's across the board, 2 outs. Gardner having to compete here with the bases loaded. Top of the order of Pate Fullerton's on deck. He singled to lead off this inning. Came around to score. Payoff pitch. Inside will work another full count. Keller at third. At second, Daniel Freeman. At first, Trevor Cho. Walk or a hit brings in at least 2 here. A hit will bring in 2. Payoff pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chinooks will strand. The bases loaded, but a good job by the lineup of bringing in 3 runs. And it was Pate Fullerton, Jess Davis who scored, as well as Ethan English, the RBI single that brought him in. Hayden Keller a single. Daniel Freeman a walk. J. Paul Fullerton had the sac fly. And a RBI walk for Trevor Cho. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but we go to the bottom of the first inning, a 3-0 lead for the Chinooks. Bottom of the first we go. 3-0 lead for the Chinooks. They put up 4 runs, had 2 big walks. Trevor Cho, the 2-out RBI walk. 9-pitch at bat that brought in the 3rd run, and they'll try and keep it forward as Zach Sundine is going to be out on the mound for the Chinooks, going into his senior year, at MSU Denver. The 5'10" pitcher and a 2.3 record, 4.15 ERA, making his 10th appearance this season. 43 1/3 innings on the mound, 37 strikeouts to his 22 walks, and 42 hits. The starting lineup for the Anchorage Bucs: Isaac Barrera, the center fielder, will lead off. Chad Castillo, the left fielder, hits second. Blake Paw, the final outfielder, will hit in right field. And Cheney Rogers, the designated hitter, hits fourth. Ryan Sullivan, the first baseman, batting fifth. 6 hole is Cole Tate at shortstop. Victor Cherney, the catcher, batting seventh. Justin Cook behind him at third base. And Spencer Long, the second baseman, cleans up the lineup. Lefty on lefty matchup, and I believe that pitch must have missed a little low.
We just received word from the Glacier Pilots broadcast team that their game was rained out today in Palmer, so they will play a doubleheader at 4 and 6 on Friday during the Chinooks off day.
And that pitch paints the outer edge to Isaac Barrera, and got to thank Bob for giving us that information, one of the broadcasters for the Pilots.
And unfortunately, that weather cell is headed this direction.
Well, and all the same, it is a turf field, so it works to your advantage, minus the grass in the outfield. So the turf infield helps. Majority of the production usually lands on the infield. Chop to the right side. It's a high chopper. It's going to go foul, and Freeman will pick it up. There's no way you're getting Isaac Barrera if that falls in safely. No one would have been able to get to first. And Isaac Barrera having a battle here with Sundine. Chinooks trying to take it into the second. They hit through the lineup in the first half of this inning. And we'll start things off with Pate Fullerton again for the second inning. As Wyatt, my co-broadcaster, mentioned that if you didn't hear it earlier in the first, you got to get through 5 for it to be a full game. And this pitch missing wide from Sundine. Some rough conditions here. Got to pitch to contact. 3-2 delivery. Hit hard off the end of the bat, and it's going to be over the head of Joe Brazil. Third base coach tried to move out of the way. It may have hindered Joe just a little bit, but I'm not sure he was going to be able to catch that.
Yeah, I don't think he was getting there. I'd like to be able to say that he was, but I don't think there was much of a chance.
You can't really call interference on that, the third base coach, even though he's not in the box all the same. But no, he's a great guy, and fouled down the third base line again, and we'll work a full count for a third straight pitch. No outs, bottom first. Chad Castillo, the left fielder, on deck. And typically the Chinooks have faced the outfield as the first three guys for the Bucs. That's how it's been all season. Barrera, Castillo, Pa. 3-2 delivery. Thrown wide. A walk for Barrera will start off this bottom half of the inning. So Chad Castillo up next. Chinooks looking for a double play here. Defensively, the Chinooks look like this. Left fielders Trevor Cho, Jess Davis in center. In right field, it's Hayden Keller. On the infield, Joe Brazil at third base. Pate Fullerton at short, Dylan Gardner at second base, and Daniel Freeman will hold on Barrera at first. Behind the plate, J. Paul Fullerton. Lefty on lefty matchup again. The delivery home. Misses, hits the top of the zone, strike one. Castillo, a little bit of the taller left-handed left fielder, as he comes in at a 6'3", 210 height. Thrown a little wide, but Barrera slides in. They'll have to wipe all the pellets off him. He's getting used to it as well. And on stealing bases, we haven't seen anyone do it so far in this game. Jess Davis tried to steal a couple, but couldn't. Off-speed falls low. And you have a chance to slip as well when you're running. Get a bad jump, you got to go back into first. Even on your secondary, sometimes you could get mixed up a little bit. 1-1 count, no outs. Next pitch from Sundine. Slide step, throws it outside. And Fennell and Sundine trying to work through the slipperiness of the mound. Delivery home. Hit hard and fouled out of play on the left side. Sundine looking for a big out here. Can he get a double play against Cheney Rogers? Rogers this season, Chad Castillo, the left-hander. Chad has been the most frequent hitter as that pitch misses low. Full count again for the second batter in a row, as Chad Castillo currently leads the team with .336 batting average. Delivery home. Ground ball to short. Fullerton. It's bobbled as it gets to the left side. Trevor Cho is going to come in and grab it. Runners will stay put at first and second. That's a tough play, and I think Pate would have liked to have backhanded that one. Again, the turf is going to be skipping hard here. You've got to find a way to put a body on it. That's going to go as an error against Pate. You got to find a way to just keep it in front, maybe backhand it. And he got handcuffed on as the ball skipped up quickly. Blake Paul, the right fielder, up next. Chinooks still looking for an out here. No outs. Bottom of the first, a 3-0 lead for the Chinooks. Sundine coming set. Delivery home. First pitch, right down the middle. Blake Paul leads the league in home runs still with 8. 6 for Ryan Sullivan. He's 2 batters away. 0-1 delivery. Outside and midway through the left-hander's batter's box. A 1-1 count here. No outs. And the bullpen for the Chinooks is actually tired of sitting in the rain. They're going to come down and sit in the dugout. Try and cheer on their starting pitcher of Zach Sundine from there. Delivery. Big swing and a miss there. And let's see if Sundine can strike out one of the better hitters in the league. Although his numbers don't show it at .211, he does have 27 hits this season. As well as 13 of those 27 have been extra base hits, 5 doubles and 8 home runs.
Sam Brace mentioned to his fellow pitchers that before the game, I'm going to brave it, he said. And it looks like he's holding true to his word as he's one of the 3 players left down there.
Runners go, hit hard to left field, base hit. Trevor Cho will grab it. He's going to try and get it in, and it'll be cut off by Brazil on the RBI single from Blake Paw. That one left over the middle half of the plate, and it's an RBI single to bring in Isaac Barrera for the first run for the Bucs. Tough break for the Chinooks there, as they likely would have had two on Pate Fullerton's ground ball to him. He just couldn't get the glove on it. Quick hop on him and couldn't turn the double play. So Paw with the single, still no outs. The tying run at first base in Blake Paw. Chinook still looking for a double play here to Cheney Rogers, the designated hitter. His first pitch is swung on and strike one. Won't connect. Cheney Rogers, the Georgia Bulldog, in his sophomore year, Ringgold, Georgia native. 0-1 count, no outs. Delivery. And this goes behind him, and it'll hit him. And just like that, the bases are loaded with no outs for Ryan Sullivan, the first baseman. That one's slipping out of the hand of Zach Sundine.
Yeah, this rain is making it difficult to pitch tonight.
For both guys, and now it's going to be who gives up less, basically. It looks to be like it's on track to being a very high-scoring game. 4 hits for the Chinooks. Only one so far was the last batter of Blake Paw. Walk for Barrera. Pops it up on the infield. Going back, Dylan Gardner, as is Daniel Freeman. He's underneath it and will make the grab. For out number 1, foul fly out. Cole Tate, the shortstop, up next. So that helps the Chinooks. Chad Castillo reached by error. He's at third base. The RBI single for Blake Paw to bring in Barrera. And Cheney Rogers, the hit by pitch, has loaded him up. Chinooks trying to get a double play out of this one with Cole Tate, the other Georgia Bulldog. Second remaining Georgia Bulldog on the team. It's funny, on the roster for the Bucs, they have both of the University of Georgia Bulldogs as other when it comes to position players. Don't have them as infielders or outfielders. I guess that means that they're utility players. But Cheney has typically been the designated hitter, and then Ryan Sullivan at the plate here will work an 0-2 count. Zach trying to be big with this next pitch as Cole Tate, the shortstop, finds himself anywhere from third base, shortstop, and second at times. 0-2 delivery. Poked foul down the right field line, and that's not a pitch you want to throw to Cole Tate. A base hit likely brings in 2 with Blake Paw at second, depending on where it's hit. Anything to the outfield, though, is going to be slowed up by the grass and improved. Strike 3 right down the middle will get Cole Tate looking, and a first strikeout for Zach Sundine brings up the catcher, Victor Cherney. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Sundine trying to get out of it here. Victor Cherney, Cal State Northridge sophomore. And the first pitch to him is strike 1 down the middle. Sundine looking for an out from any of the bases. On the infield, you got to keep it there. Try and body something up, look for an out, and that one thrown wide. Good job by J. Paul Fullerton. Zach Sundine with a smile on his face. Man, that took every inch of the stretch from J. Paul Fullerton to grab that one. Would have easily brought in a run. 1-1 count, 2 outs.
The rain has picked up significantly now.
Inside, ball 2. 2-1 count.
And the wind has shifted from right field, going out to right field, to coming in from right field.
Yeah, it is coming down pretty well. Marcus Dolan keeps looking up at it. Chinooks just trying to get through this inning. 2-1 delivery. Strike 2, and it'll be looked at as a potential back pick, but J. Paul Fullerton says no. Dylan Gardner not covering. Blake Paw took a couple hard steps for Dylan Gardner, but that's not one you want to risk. Not with the bases loaded and a second strike. 2-2 count. Payoff pitch. Chop to the left side. Coming in Brazil. He'll field it. Throw it across his body to first, and the Bucs will strand the bases loaded. It's 3-1. And in the inning, it was 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, an RBI single for Blake Paw, and an error, as well as 1 strikeout. Good play by Brazil. We're going to the top of the second, 3-1 lead for the Chinooks. They're trying to add with Pate Fullerton, the top of the order, coming back around a second time. Well, we are back for the top of the second. 3-1 lead for the Chinooks. The Chinooks had the bases loaded, stranded with 2 outs in the top half of the first, but got 3 runs out of it before that happened. And this pitch fouled back from Pate Fullerton. The Bucs, on the other hand, had the same situation with bases loaded, but a big strikeout by Sundine got the second out against Cole Tate, and then a ground out to Joe Brazil at third. I'm joined by the pitching coach for the Chinooks, Troy Hervey, and it's good to have you on again.
It's a pleasure to be back.
3-1 lead again, 4 hits for the Chinooks. All 4 came in the first inning, and they're trying to do everything they can to really amp up this lead, get that third run back, get the fourth run, and get a 3-run lead again. Pate Fullerton chop to the right side. It'll just be playable. Sullivan will field it and step on first. 3U, if you're statting at home, brings up Jess Davis. He singled and scored a run in the first inning. First out here, top second for Fennel. Well, Troy, what a season it's been, and now we're in the running for fourth place to try and make it into playoffs. Currently, we're in fourth place, but what can you say about the resiliency of this team?
I mean, again, like I've said before, and like we've said all season, these guys just fight and they don't stop and they keep going. And I mean, they know what's on the line, and you can tell by the way they play, the way they prepare for the game, and just their enthusiasm to be out at the park every single day. And honestly, these guys understand what this team means to the community, especially in the Eagle River area, and they love it. And I mean, that's a big part of what keeps them going.
Next pitch is going to miss inside. 2-0 delivery here, an advantage for Jess Davis. He had a hard single to right field when Pate Fullerton was on the move in the first inning and moved him up to third. Then J. Paul Fullerton, who's on deck, had the RBI sac fly to left field. And so Jess Davis, who's got the ability to hit the long ball, he'll take a strike on the outer edge, pulled back in a little bit by Cherney. Troy, I asked you this beforehand. What are some of your favorite things so far about the summer, and now looking back on it with there only being 6 games left, what can you add to that as that's chopped to the right side and fielded again by Long? He'll throw it to first and get Jess Davis by a step, and it'll bring up J. Paul Fullerton.
I mean, it's been awesome to see the progress of a lot of these guys and just watching them battle. I mean, you've seen guys go up and down through some slumps, break out of it, and all of a sudden get hot again. I mean, you think of a guy like Hayden Keller who started off super hot, kind of died down. Now it seems like he's kind of bouncing back. I mean, he got that hit in the first inning, and I mean, you got a guy like J. Paul Fullerton. I mean, this guy is a machine. He doesn't stop. He's played in every single game except for one, and I mean, it's unreal. He's tired. He's a little nicked up and banged up, but he keeps going. And Trevor McGee, he left this morning, but
hard
he
ground
did
ball
a
to
great job.
Sullivan, and he'll bobble it, but quickly throw it to Fennel, who covers. 3 up, 3 down inning for the first time, as they'll put a 0 up in the second. Troy, go ahead.
Just the progress everyone's made this summer. It's awesome to see. I think everyone is going to be able to go back to their schools, and their coaches are going to be well pleased with what they've been able to do and the progress they've been able to make. So it's been awesome to be a part of that, and I hope that they continue to excel for the rest of their time here and keep working hard when they get back to school.
Well, Troy, can we keep you for the bottom half of the inning?
I would love to stay, but I got to keep the chart.
All right.
So I got to do my job down there, but maybe I'll hop up in another top half here soon.
No worries. That's Troy Hervey for you. Thank you so much for joining with us.
Of course. Thank you.
Be back in a moment. It's a 3-1 lead. The Chinooks trying to get a 3 up, 3 down inning, as the Bucs did when we go to the bottom of the second. back and ready to go here. Bottom of the second inning, 3-1 lead. And Zach Sundine will throw strike one to Justin Cook, who flies it out of play on the right side. It's Cook, Spencer Long, Isaac Barrera in the top of the order coming back around here in the second inning. Chinooks couldn't get anything going and win an order in the top half. And this pitch is just a little bit off the plate. Wind is really moving that rain down on the field currently. Man, oh man, is it raining. 1-1 pitch, and it falls low and inside. Sundine still working, MSU Denver senior. I'm also joined by Tyler O'Clair, coming out of the University of Alabama at Birmingham, a sophomore there, and Calera, Alabama native. So it's fun to have him there. That one almost hits Justin Cook as he moves out of the way. A 3-1 count, and
new ball.
Yeah, new ball. He didn't want any part of that.
No.
Well, Tyler, what are some of your favorite things you've had an opportunity to do this summer?
I've been able to do a lot of different kind of outdoor adventures. Gone to Copper River. Me, Troy, and Patty did a nice little hike there. It's pretty fun, honestly, even though it was a lot longer than we meant to go, but it was a great view at the very end. We got to see a waterfall. Also done some fishing with my roomie on the mountain, Zach, and Trevor. Even though he left today, all three of us went, did some fishing, did some hiking. Got to go enjoy some good times up here, see God's nature, God's beauty, and everything that He's created.
Well, that is awesome, and it's going to be a walk to Justin Cook. Every walk that's occurred so far in the ball game has been with a full count, and so it leads off this second inning. And Dylan Gardner asking Marcus Dolan as well what it takes to call this one right now. This is a big game for the Chinooks, and kind of is a big game for the Bucs. Try and get their hitting going again. Fastball misses wide, ball one. Rain is actually hitting the area in front of the camera, so we apologize about that. We can't really do much about it, but please be tuned in. We'll try and give you as much as we can. I'll try and display it for you. 1-0 count, no outs. Sundine coming set, the delivery home. Big swing and a miss way out in front. Spencer Long. Spencer Long has got the second highest average on the team, 333 hitter, and he's 1 for 3. They just brought him up. He's playing in his third game now. Has 1 walk, 1 strikeout as well. And Zach Sundine with a strikeout. Gave up 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch in the first inning. Next pitch is going to be fouled back, and it'll be an advantage for Sundine 1-2. Well, Tyler, what is your favorite, looking back, what is your favorite appearance on the mound that you've had so far this season?
It'd probably be when we were down in Kenai. I came in for 1 inning, kind of like a live bullpen appearance type deal. And it was really cool to get in. I was able to feel really good that day. Body felt really relaxed, rested up pretty well, and then I think it was either the second or third guy came in, threw a inside fastball, sawed him off, and barrel goes flying down towards Jack at third. It's kind of a crazy thing. Never really had that happen before, so it was pretty cool.
Well, that is awesome. And, you know, Justin Cook, at first base after the walk. First pitch is strike one to the top of the order of Isaac Barrera, who scored the only run so far for the Bucs. He drew a walk to open up the first, and a walk opened up the second. But big strikeout to get Spencer Long looking, and that's strike 2 on the outer edge. And so Sundine filling it out a little bit and finding the zone here, looking for a good inning, trying to avoid that leadoff walk.
Got to do whatever you can to keep the ball dry, too, when you're up there. Keep it out of your hand, keep it in the glove. Try to just keep it as dry as possible.
Yeah, I was going to say, I keep seeing him wipe his hand on the inside of his pants. The Chinooks rocking the red jerseys and the gray pants, as the Bucs have black jerseys and striped white and black pants. Curveball strike 3. Barrera knew it as it hits the inner half. Back-to-back strikeouts to get the guys looking. Brings up Chad Castillo, who reached by error in the first inning. Well, it's at that point where you might as well, you know, in football they give them a towel and they just stick it in the backside of their pants. Might as well just do that with the pitcher, and if it's a line drive back up the middle, you got a chance that the towel's going to help you out, slow down the ball. That'd be something.
You just got to, as a pitcher right now, you're kind of thinking in your head, all right, you don't want to death grip it because then you'll choke it and pull a pitch, not be able to let it go the full 60 and a half feet. At the same time, you don't want to have too loose of a grip and let it slip because of that. So it's really hard medium you have to find. And it's similar to like any other day, too.
Ground ball that's going to get through to the left side. Trevor Cho will come in. Justin's going to try and advance. It's going to be a double. The throw's going to be in a second. Gardner will apply it, but safely in with the opposite field double. Will bring up Blake Paul, who had the RBI single. Just like that, the tying runs at second. And Sundyne looking to get Blake Paul out here with Cheney Rogers on deck. And that is the second hit of the day for the Bucs. Just happens to squeak its way by the third baseman of Joe Brazil.
Today is not a day I'd really want to pitch in. I'm glad I'm not up.
Well, with how hard it's raining right now, I mean, this is not drizzle. This is not just a sprinkle. This is a hardcore rain currently. And Fennell really hasn't had to do that for the Bucs just yet. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares in it if it continues. Because in the top half of this inning, it was nowhere near what it's at right now. Sundyne throwing ball one off the plate. The 1-0 delivery here, it's going to be off the plate, a curveball.
Got a little lazy there. He needs to make sure he stays on top and out front.
Yeah, and it's so hard as well. The ball can just slip out. We've seen that almost 2 times today with Sundyne. And he'll get a 2-0 delivery in. Curveball, and it'll paint the corner. And I try and go right back with that pitch. Blake Paul is an all-or-nothing guy with Pull City. Very pull-happy. He yanked one off the plate to the left side. It fell in front. Brought in Isaac Barrera. And
almost be tempted to throw it in.
Yeah.
Throw that curveball in.
Oh, you're absolutely right. The only problem is Blake Paul, with that inside pitch, typically does well against left-handers. He's got 8 home runs this season, and the majority have come against the left-handers on the mound.
Right.
3-1 delivery here. Curveball, strike 2. Paul leaning over it. Can all 3 outs come with strikeouts in this inning? Sundyne a pitch away from it. He's just looking for an out, though. He'll take the strikeout if it occurs.
Right.
3-2 count, 2 outs. Deep breath. Sundyne working through the windup and the delivery. Swung on and foul tip. Tried to go high with the fastball. A good idea. Blake Paul, though, fouling it back.
Almost be tempted to throw a changeup here to him. Be similar to a righty throwing changeup to a lefty. It's the exact opposite here. Lefty pitcher, righty batter. Kind of throw that changeup, it would fade away. Good speed change.
Pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Blake Paul went around, and he's going to strand 2 runners at second and third as we go to the top of the third inning. A 3-1 ball game. We'll be back in a moment, and you're listening to Chinooks Baseball on YouTube.com. Back for the third inning of play. It's a 3-1 ball game. Both teams scored in the first. Can they score in this odd inning as well? Tyler, you just gave me the weirdest look as well. Words are hard. Big swing and a miss there from Ethan English. He had the RBI single to center field with a disadvantaged count that he just took an off-speed pitch low and away and was able to loop it over the head of Cole Tate. His next pitch is a curveball that falls in, and Fennell not having any problems finding the strike zone so far. 0-2 counts, no out. He struggled in the first inning. 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Chop to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Justin Cook. He'll throw the other way. The pick at first. Good job by Sullivan on the back end, and just gets Ethan English. Every ball we've seen hit hard on the infield has gotten its way to the outfield some way, some fashion. So you put the ball in play, avoid the strikeouts, and you're doing well. Ethan English, the ground out, 5-3 ground out there, brings up Hayden Keller, who singled to right field in his first at bat.
Yeah, you mentioned the hard hits in the infield getting to the grass is because it's turf. It skips a lot easier. It's nice during warm, dry days because you don't have to worry about that extra skip. It's like on a college field, most of the time the grass is cut low enough to where ball really skips on a wet day, so it's doing the same thing on the turf.
I think Stacy Dunbar might open up the strike zone a little bit more here on the outer edges by about 6 to 8 inches just because he wants to get it going a little bit more, try and get through this game.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if he slowly did that
Yeah,
instead of just
slowly.
one gradual.
He just opened up one right there on the inner half. That pitch taken high, 2-1 count
a
to
little
Hayden
surprise
Keller.
on that one.
Yeah, it was a little surprising. Inside fastball may have just nicked the corner, but Fennell throws across his body a little, and that pitch taken wide. And so it'll be a 3-1 count. Chinooks looking for their first base runner in 2 innings. Went 3 up, 3 down at the top of the order last inning. Daniel Freeman on deck drew a walk in the first and loaded the bases. For Trevor Cho behind him ended up drawing the RBI walk, and it's off the plate. Little high as well, and it's the third walk of the day issued by Fennell.
Hayden had a little extra pine tar on that bat that time. Kind of
Couldn't
when he
get it
came
off.
out of the bat, out of the box, bat goes whoop,
Yep.
keeps it in one hand.
Yep, couldn't get it off.
Also looked a little shocked that wasn't called a strike.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was a little high. Stacy's been incredible this entire season.
It's been pretty good for us.
He's been one of the better umpires we've seen this season behind the plate, and so he's very consistent. That's the only thing I ask. It's popped up. He can't find it. It's going to get by. Hayden Keller will move up to second safely, and that'll go as a wild pitch. Stacy Dunbar calling time as the Chinooks will have a runner in scoring position. Be nice to get him in.
Would be nice to get a little extra run support. Gave up the 1 run. Not really that big of a deal in the first inning, especially when we had a 3-0 lead. So it'd be nice just to get that one back.
And able to pitch around it, too. Zach did a great job, and he's stranded 5 runners right now for the Bucs to the 3 for the Chinooks.
Big time. He's definitely stepping up to the occasion with the inclement weather.
High fly ball going back to left field. It's going to be playable, though. Castillo underneath it will make the grab. Keller will stay put as it's thrown in, and that'll be the second out. Daniel Freeman, though, he's got so much pop. He was moved into the home run derby when Brandon Cody couldn't make it, and we miss all those guys. Trevor, you mentioned, went home. Brandon, we miss him as well. Jake Collins, I believe, is leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to say bye to him as well. But it's a 3-1 ball game, and Joe Brazil, who struck out swinging for out number 2 in the first, is looking for a big base hit here. Yeah, you probably have more luck hitting the ball on the ground on the infield right now, somewhere trying to find a gap that would squeak through, than you do hitting in the air.
Especially because most of those gap hits because the infield up here has been locked down for all teams. So with this extra little skip that the ball have on this turf, with it being wet, you'll be able to squeak a couple extra hits through like we did in the first inning. We got a few extra little hits, and then inning or two ago, Joe just couldn't quite get to the one up the line, so it was last inning, couldn't.
Yeah, hit hard in the right field line. It's got a chance and just goes foul. Just tailing away. Joe Brazil would have had an RBI double at the least, and it'll send Hayden Keller back with a 1-1 count here, 2 outs.
It's a good approach up there. Definitely want to do that. Try to get it away, get it somewhere it'll skip, and since both foul lines have turf right next to them, the ball will really kind of skip away from the outfielder then.
Well, you know that Joe, when he swings, he's swinging full force. So if he connects with one, as we saw yesterday, he hit one over the left field wall for his first home run of the season. And that was the deciding factor that ultimately came out with a 4-3 win for the Chinooks. It was that two-run bomb. Next pitch, big swing there, and it'll make it a 1-2 count. But when you get to shoe strikes, you got to find a way to choke up a little bit, put something in play.
Right. Got to kind of widen the stance a little bit, bring the bat up a little, choke up on it, and kind of just bear down and at least put the bat on it so it'll at least foul it off somewhere.
Pitch away, strike 3. Joe Brazil chases Hayden Keller the walk and ended up advancing to second, but the Chinooks can't get him in. It's 3-1. We go to the bottom of the third. Back and ready to go here. Bottom three. 3-1 lead the Chinooks. 4-2 in the hit category. Chinooks still leading that as well. And here to lead things off is the 4-hole Cheney Rogers. Wore one off the back of his leg on the hit by pitch in the first. Sullivan up behind him, and Tate, the next three batters. Sundine with 4 Ks so far. He struck out the side last inning and avoided the 2-out double from Chad Castillo, as well as the opening walk by Justin Cook. His first pitch is low and away, ball 1. Cheney Rogers, the hit by pitch as I mentioned, he has got the 239 average, as that one's away, 2-0 count. 18 runs scored, 21 hits this season, and has been plunked 6 times, the second most on the team. He'll foul one away and out of play, as it'll be a 2-1 count. Wonder how many balls. I wish we could have had a counter just sitting in my hand right here. Count how many foul balls or how many balls are just thrown back to the third base dugout today. 2-1 delivery. Curve ball and almost hits him again. We'll work a full count. Excuse me, a 3-1 count as Cheney Rogers is trying to reach for the second time today. First 2 innings, the first batter reached via a walk. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball. It'll just hit off of the back of the foot. Bare hand, throw to first, and he's safe.
Good effort, though. Great effort.
Yeah, it opens up the third on a base hit. Third hit for the Bucs. Cheney Rogers would have had a single up the middle, and Sundine able to wear it off of his cleat. He'll tell Chris Beck he's okay and pushes him back to the dugout.
Yeah, that's the usual move. You see a lot of pro guys do that too. You look at a comebacker, and it's a lot scarier than it really is sometimes. Some of them can be pretty serious, but usually it's just heart stops for a second, and then it's like, oh, we got it.
Yep. Well, the Chinooks will look for a double play here. They had a chance in the first, couldn't get it. Big swing and a miss from Sullivan there. And I believe Ryan Sullivan and Zach Sundine are friends. They consistently played together in high school, I believe. And so it'll be an 0-1 count here to him. Got him in the first on a foul fly out to first base for out number 1. And the next pitch here is going to miss low. And time granted by Stacy Dunbar, the home plate umpire. 1-1 count, no outs. Runner at first is Cheney Rogers, his single. Pate Fullerton made it an exceptional play trying to get him on the bare hand. A little late of a throw, though.
Be great to get either strikeout here or go ahead and roll that double play. Kind of go ahead and get at least something going for the defense here.
Yeah, you want to try and, especially because the ball's coming off so much harder than when you're warming up at the between innings. Daniel Freeman not necessarily throwing him as hard as a ball would come off the bat, so it's a little bit of a different feel. You want your infielders to get that feel, though. Pops it up again on the infield.
Wow, that's up there.
Daniel Freeman, though, is looking for another flyout, and he'll make the grab. And so the foul flyout to get Sullivan, the fair flyout this time to get Sullivan for a second time on the flyout to first base a second time today. Cole Tate struck out in the first inning with the bases loaded. That was the biggest out so far in this game for the Bucs, as the Chinooks had one in the same inning as well. That one with Joe Brazil, though, and now Cole Tate trying to put something in play. He's got some great speed, the Georgia Bulldog does, and he'd like to bulldog one down to first base, try and beat something out, avoid the double play, but the first pitch to him is going to be just clipped to the left side foul.
Almost looked like he couldn't get the barrel to that one quick enough. Just wasn't ready for that high inside. He's probably looking just inner third, something he can handle so he can pull up the line.
Tate has the third most hits on the team behind Barrera and Castillo. That pitch is off the plate, and it'll tie the count at 1-1. Cole Tate, 303, just above 300. 36 hits in 119 at-bats, 25 walks, and 27 strikeouts. He picked up his 28th earlier, hit on a line drive to Jess Davis in center. Coming in on it will make the grab. So the fly out comes as out number 2. Victor Cherney, the 5-3 ground out that ended the first, is up next.
Jess has been phenomenal for us, making some really big-time plays for us, and can't be any more thankful for it, too.
I'm not sure I could count on 2 hands how many diving plays he's made this season.
Might have to use my feet, too.
I might have to, yeah. You might have to count the feet for sure. If anything, it's definitely over 8. But all the same, he's made so many. It's tough to keep track. First pitch is upstairs off the plate, ball 1 to the catcher, Victor Cherney. You're going to see a lot of hitters funneled through this ball game today because of the weather. But the Chinooks trying to maintain that 3-1 lead as it's fouled back, a 1-1 count. Cherney comes in as a 195 hitter. He's got 8 hits and 42 at-bats.
Zach's got a little leeway here. He doesn't have to necessarily strike somebody out. He can get a little rollover somewhere, but you got to be careful with that still because wet ground, wet ball, it's a message or it's an equation for a bad throw.
Yeah, that is the formula for it for sure. And Victor Cherney needing some pine tar. Someone comes out of the dugout. We can't see the third base dugout from here. It's pretty tough. Maybe you can, Tyler, because you're sitting to the right of me. But the next pitch, slide step, fouled out of play. We'll work a 1-2 count, 2 outs. Wind really picking up now to the right side. It's wrapped the American flag on the flagpole on the left side of the field. Just maybe, I don't know, 20 yards away. Throw down to second. Will it be in time? The tag applied, but Dylan Gardner able to keep it from going in the outfield. A good throw from J. Paul Fullerton on the off speed. I think if it was a fastball, there's no question he would have been out.
Yeah,
So puts a runner in scoring position, 2-2 count here.
Just a little too much time in the air, not enough time to get J. Paul to kind of have a better chance for a throw down.
2-2 pitch, and the payoff is in the dirt. Good pick by J. Paul Fullerton. He'll call time, and we'll work a full count in with Justin Cook on deck. Victor Cherney looking for a base hit here, bringing a second run for the Bucs. Chinooks looking for their third out, bottom of the third inning. These last few innings have flown by. Zach Sundine trying to make sure this one does as well. Payoff pitch. Curveball misses high. It'll be a walk. So that is the first walk issued in this inning, puts runners on first and second, and the tying run is at first base with Justin Cook at the plate. Boy, it'll feel good for everybody to go back home and take a shower after this one.
Oh, yeah, nice warm shower. That'd be great.
Yeah, some cold rain falling, and Tyler, you're lucking out right now. You get to be in here with us.
Right, yeah. Good day to be an off day.
Throw back to second, and
Ooh.
good job by Gardner to keep it in front. As J. Paul Fullerton not afraid to do it, and that was strike one. Time granted, and we'll throw back another ball to the third base side. Nope, Stacy going to hold this one again.
There we go.
Said the same thing last time, and he's been... Nope, he does. He did. He mixed
Tossed
up
it.
with it and tossed it right back.
I think the raindrops just got bigger.
Hard fly ball, Jess Davis underneath it. He looks to be tracking it and will make the catch. So 2 more runners are stranded for the Bucs. They have now stranded 7 through 3 innings. We go to the top of the 4th. Chinooks looking to add to their 3-1 lead when we come back. Back and ready to go here. Trevor Cho to lead off, the 8-hole left fielder. RBI walk back in the first. And it's still a 3-1 lead. No team has scored since the inning. Stacy Dunbar trying to pat down the left-hander's batter's box. Not really sure what the problem is.
The pellets in there are getting clumped up. We had this issue earlier. We were kind of before the game. We were farting around on the field, playing a little football action with the pitchers, and every time you got close to a bag, you start seeing some clumped up turf pellets.
And now, because Trevor Cho can't hit in the box, it looks like they're calling time right now. Trevor can't stride without slipping.
Oh, it looks like there's a puddle.
Yeah, there's a giant puddle in that batter's box. So we will pause here for a moment, and we'll be back in a second to let you know what we got. Looks like it's going to be a weather delay for a little bit.
So we have word from the Bucs PA that the game will be resumed in at least 30 minutes if there's a let up. So we are going to be in a weather delay for a while. Stay tuned though. We will keep updated on Twitter, and we will keep the stream up as long as it makes sense to. But for now, it is a rain delay here in Anchorage.
Well, fans, it looks like this game is going to officially be canceled. The Chinooks were leading at 3-1, but we will go to now an off day tomorrow and then face off against the Pilots back here at home on Thursday, and rain's in the forecast for then as well, so we'll see how far we can make it into there. But this is what Alaska weather is actually like. And so Sundine pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 run in the first, and did a really great job. I mean, both guys did. Fennell settled down after the first inning, where he gave up 2 strikeouts, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. But the Chinooks will leave this one 3-1. It does not go as an official game, I don't believe.
Yeah, as of now, this does not go as an official game. As far as we understand, as long as this game can't be made up, it's going to be decided on win percentage as far as the playoffs are concerned. So the Chinooks will not be able to make this game up, as there are no off days where both teams have an off day and they do not play each other again. So we can't even make up a doubleheader. So this game is just canceled.
Yep, the game is canceled, and that's important for the Chinooks because then at the end of the day, it comes down to winning percentage. And the Chinooks are currently ahead of the Oilers, and they will have played 1 less game. So right now, the Chinooks are in 4th place, and it kind of muddies the waters a little bit, though, when it comes to the rest of the season. Chinooks want to match, though, every single win for the Oilers because they'll have 1 less game in order to keep that 4th place spot. If the Oilers win and the Chinooks lose out, then the Chinooks will not make that 4th place spot. So it'll just come down to win percentage at the end of the day. We'll keep you posted. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry about the rain, but Alaska is in need of it after how hot the summer has been. So thank you so much again. Josh Salem White, we will here. God bless.